Today I want to discuss the very popular subject that we find in the Bible of zombies. That's right, zombies. Very popular subject found in the Bible. Have you ever felt like a zombie? You ever use that term? Well, what do you mean by that? Well, usually it means that you're just dead tired, feeling a little lifeless, kind of going through the motions, sometimes without purpose or intent. Just going through it. Well, today's society, we have lots of movies and shows about zombies. I don't quite understand it all, but it is here, it is reality. However, I do remember a movie that I liked a lot several years ago, and it's probably one of the first zombie movies in modern culture, and it's everybody's favorite. Why? Because it is Weekend at Bernie's. That's right. Bernie, everybody's lovable favorite zombie. Now, he was actually a very stereotypical zombie because he was actually controlled by voodoo. Voodoo is the original zombie force, if you will, that was used through life. So, Bernie, not your traditional zombie, whenever you think zombies today. That's good because I want us to help redefine what it means by zombie life, all right? Now, what else comes to mind a lot of times when people are talking about zombies? Well, usually the question comes up, are you ready for the zombie apocalypse? Well, we found out through different things and that go on in our culture and stuff today that sometimes we feel like we're ready or not ready for the zombie apocalypse, if you will. Well, let me ask you this. Whenever the term zombie apocalypse is used, which side do you think you're on? Do you find yourself thinking about it and thinking, am I ready to defend myself against the zombies? Or have you ever thought about, maybe I'm going to be one of the zombies? Very few people actually think about themselves as the zombie. So, let me ask you this though. Today, in your life, do you feel like you have no purpose? Do you feel like you're dead inside? Do you feel like that there's just something that's wrong or missing that's causing you to be a zombie, to be lifeless? Well, maybe you really are dead. Well, what do you mean? How can I be dead? I'm listening to you. We're having a discussion. Well, the reality is from the time that we're born, the time our flesh comes out of our mother's womb, we are actually spiritually hibernated. Our spirit person is not alive. All right, so essentially we're, for all intents and purposes, dead as a spirit person. All right, so our flesh, what's our flesh doing? Our flesh is crying out. It's crying out for food. It's crying out for attention. It's crying out for a clean diaper. All right, but what it's really crying out for is for our spirit person, our spirit to be made alive. All right, well, in Paul's writing to the Ephesians, all right, he says that we've been quickened, all right? Maybe, which is, quicken is just an old English term meaning to be made alive. If you've ever heard the term the quick and the dead, the quick is referring to the alive. So the quick and the dead basically means the alive and the dead, all right? And in Ephesians 2:2, it says we have been brought to life out of our trespasses and sin. So when we're actually born on this earth, we have a separation from God, all right? That separation, that spirit person needs to come to life, all right? Because we have that separation from God, all right? So what is Paul telling us? Paul is telling us that we've been made alive, just like Dr. Frankenstein's monster, made alive, except, all right, not to scare people, not to bring condemnation, not to bring terror, but to bring purpose, to our original design. All right, our spirit person is what this earth is about. All right, our being is who we are, is a spirit being. We are eternally a spirit being, which means we are primarily a spirit being. So what we want is for our spirit being to be made alive. All right, we could spend 100 years on this earth. All right, and if our spirit being has never come to life, then it's really been a worthless life. It's not really been a life at all. All right, a 7-year-old that has had its spirit being brought to life, and maybe that person gets cut short, at 8, 9, 10 years old, and has only lived in its spirit 1 or 2 years. However, that life is going to be more valuable, more impactful than a person that we consider to be a senior citizen that has never come to know Jesus Christ. All right, so you don't want to be made alive until you don't want to wait till it's too late to be made alive, is what I'm saying. Is because if your flesh dies, your spirit is going to come to life to damnation. But if your spirit life comes to life while your flesh is still alive, you're going to be able to experience eternity with God. And you're going to have that closeness and that oneness with who God is. So what am I saying? I'm saying zombies rise up. All right? I am saying that the lifeless form that we simply know as the flesh needs to come to life. All right? Be filled with the supernatural Holy Spirit. Don't be controlled by voodoo. Be controlled by the power of God. Be controlled by the Holy Spirit, which is roaming upon this earth and wants to give you the power. All right? We don't have to be able to explain the power that we have within us. All right? The reality is we want to be brought to life. We want the wonder-working power of God to be within us. So I ask you, are you prepared for the zombie apocalypse? If so, which side are you on? All right? It's more than okay to be brought to life through Jesus Christ. All right? So have you been quickened? Have you been made alive? All right? Don't hesitate any longer. So accept Christ and be made alive.